much. Well, a new report from the American Cancer Society shows colorectal cancer is the #1 cancer killer of men under 50, and it's the #2 cancer killer of women under 50. So this morning we are welcoming Michael Holtz back into our studio. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Michael is a cancer survivor and an advocate with Fight Colorectal Cancer. And for those who are unfamiliar with your story, tell us a little bit about your journey and your fight with cancer.
Sure. So I'm actually a 12-year, it'll be 12 years in March.
Congrats.
Rectal cancer survivor, stage 3B. Did 11 months of treatment that involved radiation and chemotherapy, oral chemotherapy, then surgery, and then infused chemotherapy. So a long journey, but I was declared NED in May of 2013 and have been no evidence of disease since. So frontline treatment worked for me, and since then I've been an advocate, urging other people to get screened and take care of themselves.
Yeah,
all
boy,
of that, so.
What a journey it's been. Congratulations, a big milestone coming up. And now you've taken your story and you try to advocate and spread awareness about colorectal cancer. So what's kind of the main message that you try to tell people who are unfamiliar with this disease?
Ultimately, it's, get screened. If you are age 45 or older, get a colonoscopy, talk to your doctor. If you have a family history, it's even more important that you talk to your doctor about getting a colorectal cancer screening. As the American Cancer Society report shows, colorectal cancer is skewing younger and younger. It used to be an older person's disease, and what we're seeing is the older people are getting diagnosed with colorectal cancer less and less. It's been happening for about 2 decades. However, younger people are being diagnosed more and more, about 1 to 2% more a year since the 1990s. And, I know people who are, in their 30s and they're on round 145 of chemotherapy for treatment of stage 4 incurable colorectal cancer. And, folks like that, can be around for a long time, but man, that's a hard life. And we all say, like, if you could prevent this, do whatever you can to do it.
Right, and we should talk about some of these numbers that have just been released from the American Cancer Society. They're estimating this year there will be more than 106,000 new cases of colorectal cancer in the U.S., slightly more in men than there will be in women, and about 53,000 deaths are expected this year. And like you said, so much of this can be prevented. What would you say to encourage people who are hesitant to get out there and do their screenings?
Do the screening that you'll do. I mean, colonoscopy is the gold standard for sure, but there are other tests that are not invasive that you can do at home and send into a lab, that sort of thing. Do the tests that you'll do to at least get started on the process, because you need to know what's going on with your colon, and that hopefully things are clear and you don't have to worry about whether fighting cancer, treating cancer, but we want to make sure that we know, right? And early detection and prevention is key. These tests are preventive tests, so if you know where you are and you get the tests when you're supposed to, you can prevent getting cancer in the first place.
So for you personally, what do you think about when you reflect on the past 12 years, knowing that you are now cancer-free?
Honestly, I just am so grateful for the opportunity. I call, the last 12 years have kind of been bonus time, because I wasn't supposed to survive. I should have had a recurrence. There was a 95% likelihood that I would have had a recurrence of my cancer. Wow. That didn't happen to me. So I'm grateful for every day that I've gotten since I finished cancer treatment.
All right, Michael, thank you so much for being here, for spreading this important message. Get your colonoscopies. Go ahead and make sure you get those screenings too. You're watching Fox 43 News this morning. When we come back, we're going to get a final